Hey everybody, and welcome to The Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton, Heather Jordan, and the good people over at Kazon Cards and Comics. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and we are celebrating Aron Eisenberg. How you guys doing?
Good. We've been enjoying our day together. We've been playing games, drinking a little.
Drinking
a little.
Enjoying each other's company.
Hey, you said you were recording in front of a studio audience. Is that right?
Yes, we're in a live studio audience today.
Yeah.
I like the background. The enthusiasm is great.
It's the drinking.
Oh, it's the drinking. So I just learned that the Kazon comics is actually based off a character as well that Aron played in Voyager.
Yes, it's Car. The Car?
It's Car, yeah. He was in one episode of Voyager with our good buddy Robert Beltran, who you may or may not see on the show very soon.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the and the Kazons are the I just noticed that they were like the Rastafarians of the Star Trek universe. They've got the dreadlock kind of theme happening with their hair, which I like.
So Heather, here are all the things I want to know about you.
Okay.
Have you ever met Mr. Aron Eisenberg in person, or was it always just a cyber friendship? I don't really remember.
Unfortunately, I did not get the chance to meet Aron in person. I was really hoping that would happen in April, possibly, because I know there was talk about you guys going to the PhillyCon, or at least Aron was going to go. I don't know if anybody else was, but I know that Eric Moran was trying to get him to go over there. So I was hoping that was going to happen, but unfortunately, now obviously that's not.
So your first knowledge of Aron was through Nog on Deep Space Nine, right?
Yep.
Do you remember, was he your favorite character ever? Or like second to Jake Sisko, the writer?
There you go.
Oh, you're right. It is like a studio audience.
Jake Sisko always has my heart, of course. I think I just related to both of them because I was a teenager while they were a teenager on the show. So, I was growing up right in that age when they were dealing with all of those things. So I think that I related more as like being the same age and seeing the conflict they were going through. And, there was the underlying tones of racism, and not that they were racist, but they were dealing with other people putting racism on them. Like, oh, you can't be friends with him because he's, a Ferengi, or he's a human. So, that's something I think every kid goes through, is like the cliques in the high school thing. Oh, you can't be friends with that person because of this reason or that reason. So I think that's really what I related to in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. And then how did you and Aron start talking? Did you just kind of send him a friend request and he was just like, she seems nice enough, and you guys became buddies? It was
through you, Ryan, because
I guess I should have remembered that.
Aron connected with me through after I started on the Seventh Rule, because we started doing the gaming, because Aron had mentioned that he was trying to get gaming. So I messaged Aron and I said, hey, I game. So, and then we just kind of went through there. We set up the Discord channel together. We through that, we have really grown the Discord community, which is a nice perk for the Seventh Rule patrons. And a lot of us go on there. We talk about Aron, and when Aron was still with us, he was on there frequently, chatting with us, letting us know what was going on, making little funny remarks. Everybody just was able to talk to him like he was a friend. So, that's how I connected with Aron, was primarily through the gaming section of the patrons. But of course, also getting to know him and his personality through filming the Seventh Rule.
Mm.
What really stood out as far as his personality to you?
It's been said by everyone, and that's just that he's so open and engaging, and like there's so many stories of people saying I went up to Aron and he talked to me and we had a conversation and he knows me by name, and just the connection that he made with fans. I think that just really stood out as a unique personality trait for him as a star, as a, someone who is in that industry. He was just always willing to talk to everyone, and everyone that I've talked to and everyone here, at some point or another had some interaction with him, and they said that, he just had a true friendship with them. And that's definitely not something you find all the time, especially with people who are in the spotlight.
Mm.
Yeah, Aron was really accessible, and he wanted a personal relationship with everybody. He didn't want it to be just like casual. He wanted to make sure that he was actively involved in people's lives.
Yeah, you said, I think, Ryan, you said that before. He asked you if he was too accessible to people.
Yeah, but that's kind of, looking back, that's what made him so special. But it was clearly something that he was not unaware of. It was deliberate, and he would kind of rethink things. That's one of the things that was so great about him, was he was very self-aware and always analytical and rethinking, am I doing the right thing? Should I do this more? And that was something he asked, was, am I too accessible? And I said, yeah, but that's what's special about you. I said, that's what's so great about you, and that's what's unique to you. And I'm glad he stayed that way, because now we really see the effects of that. Now that he's gone, we see how many people are coming together in his name just because of how accessible he was, because he cared about everybody so much.
That's 100% true. As in the Discord group, I know, Ciroc, you don't really see that, but it's everyone there. We talk about Aron and we talk about our grief, and it's been said more than once that we're helping each other get through it, and we are coming together in a community, unfortunately, in that situation of losing Aron. But I think that it's really helped put everybody together, and we're growing closer because of it.
Yeah, he brought us all here, and the best way we can honor him is by keeping our friendships and continuing to honor his memory, staying close with each other and learning the lessons that he was trying to teach us, which is, about keeping this dialogue open and being accessible to each other and helping each other out. Mm-hmm. That's what Aron was all about.
Heather, can you do us a favor? Can you find Mr. John Tufarella for us?
Yes, I can.
Because we want to get a little bit of everybody.
John, you've been called.
I've been called.
Summoned.
Been called something nice. All right, let me grab a chair.
So I'm gonna switch spots, or maybe try to get another chair in here, or should I get
whatever you guys want? If all 6 of you can fit in, or 8, that's cool too.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I'm not sure if we can get all 8 people in here. I think we can get 2 at a time, though.
Great. Mr. John Tufarella.
What's going on, guys?
And what's happening, man?
He's wearing an awesome shirt too.
Oh, yes, he is. We've got 2 people wearing an Captain Nog Forever shirt today.
Oh, that's pretty dope. I like that.
I got to order some more. My kids want some.
So, John, you're the one hosting this event, right? For those of you at home, John has been one of our biggest and most supportive friends and supporters, along with pretty much everybody there. Homer, you'll be seeing shortly.
Yep.
But you've got a Kazon Cards and Comics, which is...
Not so much the comics, games.
Blast. I thought I had that name right. Kazon, and I should have known because you sent me pictures of like this guy has all of the games, like this huge setup of games just looking amazing. Like what games do you play, by the way?
There's a list. Warhammer, Magic, Game of Thrones. There's numerous Star Trek, Star Wars, Firefly.
Wow.
JG was playing Firefly with us earlier when he was here. It was entertaining.
Yeah, JG was very entertaining. He was telling us some stories, and he was getting very enthusiastic in his stories.
He can do that. He can do that.
And where are you? Where are you located?
Candor, New York. Not too far between Ithaca and Owego.
Yeah, we had people driving between 2 and 4 hours to come out today. Homer drove 4. Me and a couple girls drove 2. I don't know if anybody drove farther than that, but we all came out here. I know Homer's been here since last night, so.
Yeah, I saw their game spread last night.
Yeah.
So tell us your story with regards to Aron, John. When did you first meet him?
Well, I mean, I first met him just, through friending him on Facebook after JG, brought me into the circle. So there's a little bit of contact there. But I told him when I first came out to Vegas 2 years ago that I was looking forward to meeting him out there and everything. And he's like, all right, cool. Well, we'll see you when you come out. And as I walked up to his table, he already knew who I was. He's like, hey, John, how are you? Good to see you made it.
Wow.
So, I mean, that took me back a little bit. I'm like, that takes some caring on his part. So that was my.
Ciroc still doesn't recognize me when I show up at a convention.
Or Aron. It took me a long time. Oh, that's Aron. Oh, yeah, that's right. We worked together, didn't we? But no, he was special like that. He was very special like that. He really took the time out to get to know people.
Yeah. And the night before the day he passed, he had talked to me because he had planned on coming out here to New York he had something he had to come out and do personally, but he was asking about setting up a time to come here to the store and either do a day or a weekend event here. And then obviously the next day, that happened. But he was very, very engaging and willing to go above and beyond anybody else so far that I've met, as far as, to be part of or include people.
And I would have came out for that if we had been able to set that
most
up.
Everybody here would have. So we need to work on you guys coming out.
Yes.
That needs to happen.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. Ryan's in charge of that department.
Oh, Ryan.
Hey, you like that one, Homer, huh?
I love that one.
You recognize his chuckle, huh?
Yeah. How could you forget?
I just love the studio audience. It's great.
That's great.
It's great.
It's like instant feedback. Normally, I'd be just telling jokes, and Ciroc would kind of chuckle politely, and Aron would go, "Wow, okay."
Cue the laugh card.
So, John, what do you remember best about Aron? I mean, everybody knows he cracked the jokes. He was a caring fellow, but does anything stand out besides that to you that a lot of people may not know?
He was super passionate about stuff that he was trying to do. So this past year out in Vegas, Homer, Lewis, and I walked around with the seventh rule cards, and we were handing them out to everybody that we could. And we were talking with the different guests that were there. When we come back and we give him little reports, and he'd get so excited. He's like, "Oh, do you think they'll actually get on? Do you think they'll come on the show?" And he was like a kid in a candy store with the thought process of all of these people coming on. And one of the people that I really wanted to meet out there was Anson Mount. And I went up and I talked to him, and I gave him the seventh rule card, and he was super excited about it. And I think my excitement for being able to meet him just bled over into Aron, and it was he was ecstatic that I had made that connection. And Anson seemed interested in the potential and had given us the information back for his podcast. So it was his energy was very infectious. Yeah. And it was a good thing.
You know, and because of that, yeah, like Anson Mount's been blowing up my phone lately trying to come on the show. He really, we haven't heard from him yet, but but that's awesome. Yeah. Maybe we'll contact him on his podcast.
After the Michael Chiklis special that we do. Homer's the only one going to be watching that.
So Anna Maria's been watching The Shield.
Oh, okay.
I
So
know. It's
Shield's
spreading.
back.
It's spreading.
Right back at you.
The virus.
It's on my to-do list.
Or a rat. Yes, it's spreading.
John, do you remember the thing that Aaron did that made you laugh the most? Or just the funniest thing about him?
Faux schnitzel.
Oh, boy. That's right.
Yeah.
Faux
right.
schnitzel?
Faux schnitzel. I
What's
don't
that?
remember. I don't remember the full joke.
Thank goodness.
But he was it Vietnamese and German? Vietnamese and German restaurant, and to name it Faux Schnitzel. So we started looking up all the different names for these restaurants, and there were some pretty good ones, but he couldn't contain his laughter at that. And he did nothing but roll your eyes every time he.
I wish I knew that one. I could have brought it up. Faux schnitzel, my nitzel.
Now, Ciroc, you're laughing because I know you're thinking that is such an Aaron joke.
That's an Aaron joke, yeah. And I can see him like just so laughing at himself.
At his own joke, yeah.
He loves
was, like,
laughing
in
at his own
tears.
jokes. Yeah.
Tears on that one.
He's the king of laughing at his own jokes.
And then he's go, what?
Somebody's got to.
What? Nobody
Well, yeah.
else gets it?
Faux schnitzel.
I had forgotten about that. I remember during that convention, I was like, yes. Okay, I get it. He's like, no, but faux schnitzel, right? Faux
Do you
schnitzel.
get it?
Yeah.
P-H-O.
That was hilarious. That's awesome. Thanks, John.
No problem.
Yeah.
Let's see if Homer has anything to say, if Homer's around.
Here and take my place.
I never thought the faux schnitzel was funny.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. We'll make plans.
It's
right,
almost
John.
like with Aaron, the less funny the joke was, the funnier it was. I think that's what it was right there.
Yeah.
How you doing, Homer?
I'm well, thank you.
So you were not a fan of the faux schnitzel joke?
No, that's one of the ones where I was like,
No credit.
no. And he's like, what do you mean? That's funny. No.
Homer's
And that was the
wearing-
thing too. Aaron used to like use you as the barometer. If he can make you laugh, then he felt like he got the job done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Homer scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My scale is it's different, I think.
We need a shirt for the Homer
Yeah.
scale.
Oh, I have to just for a moment, I have to take a sip.
Oh,
there it
he's got
is.
his 7th rule mug and his Captain Nog Forever shirt on.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm ready
That's
now.
amazing. And he's got his 7th rule tattoo on the back of his neck.
Yeah. It's back there.
Coming
It's back there. It's kind of like you have an F and an 8 for Picard. I have my
That's
T7R
right.
there.
Oh, that's great.
It could
Got
be
it.
down, so
So
It's not.
we'll discuss it later.
No.
I do want to get a little bit more into the Homer barometer that Ciroc mentioned, because it's true. It's like every time Aaron would tell a joke, some would laugh, some wouldn't. Homer was like stoic. Or he'd shake his head. You're right, Ciroc. He would shake his head. So we want to know, what were the jokes that made you laugh? Don't think too hard. Don't make it seem like there are so few.
That was good. No, I can't remember any in particular. I think what made me laugh the most, and maybe I didn't actually laugh physically, was when Aaron was laughing so much. Like his laughter is infectious, and I almost feel as though I had to fight myself to actually not be laughing. But I was laughing on the inside, and that's what I do. So there's no specific instance.
That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough, isn't it? Yeah. So I may eventually be able to come up with a particular instance, but the guy is hilarious. But the main thing really is about his laughter, and then hearing that laughter, and then you're like, it's not just about I have to laugh. It's more like I have to have my soul uplifted, and I have to feel kind of like, yes, this is wonderful, but I don't necessarily have to laugh to be uplifted. That's thank you.
Polite to laugh.
Yeah.
The best times on the show were when you guys were laughing at me.
Yeah. So all right.
That.
So
Oh yeah.
Those were our biggest Heather, you have
it's like, hold on. I have to do a screenshot. I have to do a screenshot. Heather. Oh, she's not moving. Okay. After I got it. And he was so happy about that. I was like, oh, and he got like 3 or 4 during that episode of Heather. Just I don't know what face.
Freezing.
I got frozen like this.
Do you know how it was? Oh.
That was one of them. So.
You had a couple unflattering frozen shots.
He's like, I got it.
Yeah.
That's
but the one that made us laugh the most. What made us laugh the most was when your microphone would have indigestion a couple of times.
I know.
Aaron would not. I don't know why that tickled him so much.
Oh, because it was hilarious.
I think he was just laughing at Ryan.
Well, the best part was that we'd hear your microphone go, and then I could see Aaron and I would both look at each other. Aaron's eyes would go like this, and he'd go like that. And as soon as I saw his eyes go that way, we're like, all right, we can't
hold it in anymore.
Laugh. The mic couldn't hold it in either, yeah.
Yeah, and the best thing is me talking and being completely oblivious. And then Aaron goes, I'm sorry, you're saying good things, but it's just so funny. You know?
Yeah, that was what he would say.
That is a good point, though. I did notice that too. Is that we're laughing so hard for what felt like so long, but Aaron still mustered the strength through his laughter to say, "I'm sorry. What you're saying is really important, but we're just being juvenile." You know, like he still
didn't want to offend you. He still didn't want to be offensive. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was the butt of so many jokes. The gummy bear joke. Well, I mean, he did was nice that one time he said I was the angel of the 7th rule.
I don't
remember when I had
that. Deleted scenes.
The angel.
Yeah, deleted scenes.
I'm sorry. He said the red angel from Discovery because I had the flag, the Federation flag, and of course my red hair. So.
Yes, that angel.
Yes, the red angel. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. That I for a second I thought it was gonna be like, and he called me the Jesus, and he called Sarah Mother Mary or whatever.
No, she's the red angel.
Yep.
That works. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
So,
glad I have your approval.
Joking aside, for now, Homer. You did have the distinct pleasure of meeting Aaron in person at least once.
Yep.
What was your first impression of him upon meeting him in person?
So my first impression upon meeting him is that his voice carries. And that's not a bad thing, especially if you have something good to say. And that's not just in person, but also in social media. But my meeting him in person the first time was in Albany. And I didn't really get a chance to talk to him so much. And I got to know him better afterwards. And then you set up the 7th rule. And so I knew him more through the 7th rule and social media. And then I actually got to meet him for real, I guess you could say, after we grew to know each other a little bit in Vegas. But initially it was about a year ago in Albany. Yeah.
In Star Trek Las Vegas just a couple months ago, right?
Exactly. So, I wore my 7th rule t-shirt, and of course he recognized me from the podcast, and probably he would have recognized me from like 30 seconds of an interaction in Albany from what I hear. Like, yeah, you doing that? That's good.
Yes, I did that.
Yeah,
On
she's
purpose.
very good. She's the
Very
Renee.
good.
Yeah,
Aaron, our
Yeah,
beloved
so-
Aaron.
Little flannel
we didn't see
for
him hiding
Aaron.
back there.
exactly right.
There's a little flannel for Aaron, you know.
Nice.
Nice tribute, Ciroc.
Yeah, we're going full flannel for the rest of this month.
You got to duck down so we can see Aaron. Aaron, you're good.
Oh. No, he's
Or,
over
I
here.
meant to say
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
I got confused.
Oh. Yeah, I feel as though I should have on a beanie and be wearing some flannel and grow out.
So Aaron was, you know, I'm not obviously active that much on social media, but Aaron was a loud voice on social media.
Yes.
Expressive.
Okay.
He did not hold it back on his opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also consistent. Like, you
Yep.
wouldn't go 2 or 3 days without a post. He was very active, I guess is the word. He was as active on social media, you're right, as he was in person. He always had something to say. He was always fighting for what he believed in, and he was always passionate about what he said. And I think that's really a poignant point that his voice did carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see a political post, and then it's like, okay, who's going to be on? Who's going to be playing World of Warcraft tonight? And you've got this one thing, and it's like it's compartmentalized. in ways. Like, okay, yeah, I can run tonight. That's great. Let's do whatever dungeon.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Oh,
dungeons, or actually World
Wait.
of Warcraft, we, me, John, Homer, Sam,
Felicity.
Felicity, yeah. We are all in a guild that's open to the public if anyone's interested. It's called the Descendants of Nog. It's basically just in honor of Aaron. So it was just a group of people coming together to honor Aaron in one of his favorite games.
Wow. That sounds like a biker gang.
Yeah,
The Descendants
we wear-
of Nog.
we wear leather, and we ride loud motorcycles.
And we carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, needlessly loud motorcycles.
Flannels, beanies, and motorcycles.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a flannel in
studs.
World of Warcraft, but I'm gonna look.
There should be. That should be a new. Is it a
Do you guys have a flag in World of Warcraft? Because then you could just get
We
like
have a tabard. It's a guild crest. It's the stars
could
in
be a
honor of
flannel.
Star Trek. So we have it's a purple background. Actually, Homer is the one that helped work on the colors. It's a purple background with gold trim and then stars. Because I felt that we couldn't
It's-
find the crest that
Yeah, it's kind
totally
of.
fit.
The colors kind of come from
the
that.
seventh rule.
Whoops, sorry, I can't do it.
This
that.
way.
Oh, right here.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
that
Yes.
one.
Exactly.
One of these directions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we look forward to playing with you guys. You know, on World of Warcraft.
Ciroc,
If you guys want to roll a tank or a healer, you're more than welcome to join us. Especially DPS is cool too, but you know we'll take what we can get.
Ciroc, are you down for DPS?
Is that like OPP?
Yeah,
You wanna
very
be a
very
tank?
similar.
Are you down to be a tank on DPS?
DPS is. I'm just getting back into it. I think that's damage per second.
Okay. Because when I hear DP, I get very
Yeah, no, it's DP. Yeah, you're good.
DP.
That's right. It's a production thing.
Welcome.
It's director of photography,
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
Ciroc?
There's
Yeah,
something.
something.
though,
Yes,
that's hard to
exactly.
follow.
Exactly. That's right.
There are acronyms.
Yeah.
We'll teach
Anyway, so
Okay. No, I don't know much about the World of Warcraft, but I have to learn.
you. Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
rule about how you know if somebody knows much about the subject at hand is if they put the article "the" in front of it, which Ciroc just did. I don't know much about the World of Warcraft. I don't do the Facebook or I check out the
Facebook.
YouTube.
Yeah, that thing, the internet,
Yeah, that thing.
The interweb.
the
So,
interweb of all things.
We are running low on time here.
We should work in other folks that are here, right?
I was going to say, I don't know who else is there
Yeah.
that wants to say stuff, but we're
I'm
all
sure
ears.
there are folks. I'm going to hop out and let someone else jump in.
All right, Homer. Good to see you,
Thank you
buddy.
guys. Yep.
This is Jenna, and she is actually from Rochester.
Hi, Jenna.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
You having fun over there with the gang?
Oh yeah, they're my Czech family. I love them.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So, Jenna, have you met our good friend, Mr. Aron Eisenberg, or were you a fan of Nog on Deep Space Nine?
Both. I'm a fan of Nog, and I also got the pleasure of interacting with him quite a bit at 2 different Star Trek conventions.
Which was the first?
The first was back in 2016 in Minneapolis. I was just getting his autograph, and I ended up talking to him for a very long time, and I can't even remember. It was just tons of things, what's going on in the world. Like, it wasn't even Trek related. It was just like he was an old friend, just chatting with him. He was great. And then I met him again at Albany, where Homer was last year. And that's where I met John as well. And it was great because, like, at the one in Minneapolis, I had like 2 days later after talking to him, went across him, and I was like, "Hi, Aaron." He said, "Hi, Jen." I was like, "Oh my God, he's still
Wow.
2 days later."
Pretty good.
And so in Albany, I went and told him that, not, of course, expecting him to remember me 2 years later, and he didn't. He apologized for that. I was like, no, I don't expect you to. And I said something about how I feel if an actor remembers you years later, that's a bad sign. It's usually because you did something bad. But then that night, I ran into the Gays in Space party, and he gave me this look, and he's like, "Oh, I remember you." And I was just like, "Oh no, what did I do?" So we joked around for a while, and I got to chat with him and Melissa as well, who's also wonderful. So,
And JG also sends his love for Melissa. He's
good.
Said that he, that's who he thinks about the most. What everyone he's going through is Melissa.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Sirach, I did want to ask you though, when you're at conventions, you pretty much remember every face and name that you see, right?
Yeah, that's where Aaron got it from. I schooled him on that. Bless you.
One quick little shout out. There's another actor that's impressed me with that is Mr. Anthony Montgomery. If you guys know him.
Yep.
I met him. I think we only talked for a few minutes, and then a year later, and I'm walking by, and he goes, "Hey Ryan, what's up?" And I'm like, did he, like, unbelievable. And I know Aaron had that, that, I don't know if it's a skill. I think really it just boils down to how much he cared about people, that he wants to remember people, and he wanted you to know, hey, I value you. I appreciate you coming to talk to me. I appreciate you as a person. And that's really cool that he did that. Jenna, did he tell you anything that really kind of stood out?
We talked so much of the 2016 one, I don't even remember, but I just remember because, like I said, we talked about what's going on in the world. It was very much clear that he believed in, like, the Star Trek values, and that he was really that kind of person, and, cared about people and would stand up, and it was obvious he was great. Like, I
think that's really great way to say that
yeah,
Star Trek values.
I think so.
Yeah, also hilarious too, of course.
Yes.
I remember him always saying, "I wish people would be like this," or "I wish the world could just understand this." And he wanted to change the world or make the world see things the way that they, appeared to be to him. So he was like, "I just don't understand why this is happening. Why are we letting this happen? I wish people would," and, you can fill in the blank after that sentence, but it was always this passionate feeling about the world, "Oh, I wish we could get this done. I wish we can get together and, fix this." So he was extremely passionate when it comes to just being involved.
I think that Aaron is looking down on all of us now, and he is realizing how everybody's come together under him, that he's brought everybody together. I think that that's probably making him happy.
I sure hope so. I really do hope that whatever people believe in, that there is something out there that allows Aaron to know this, because he deserves to know it.
He does.
Yeah, I say this all the time, but the documentary, they had his character, reintroduced in this way, for the purpose of bringing us all together and getting us to talk and be, what's that?
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Right on cue.
It's the documentary in stores now.
Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
So, I mean, I think that he's actually doing that in real life now. And I don't know if has anybody out there watched the documentary since he's passed?
I didn't watch it after because I watched it really shortly before, so it was fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
I actually watched it because of his passing.
Yeah, I did watch it again after he passed.
John
and
said
it was
again too.
He did, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love
How did it hit you guys? How did it hit you guys when you saw the moment when the writers were saying that Nog blows up and
I hated that.
I was angry the first time.
It hurt more
time.
to know that Nog would be gone too. I don't know.
See, I feel like now that they have to put him in a show because they can. They. Oh,
we lost Rock.
We lost Rock.
Sorry, I'm back.
They should give him an honorable mention on Star Trek. That there was some battle and Captain Nog was lost.
They're pretty good with their tributes. I think we'll get something. Our buddies at Star Trek Online have a wonderful tribute. Actually a few things that they're doing with Star Trek Online that's really honoring him.
I watched the live stream of the panel at New York City Comic-Con, and someone did straight out ask, can you please make Captain Nog canon? And Kurtzman said they are going to keep their eyes out for a way to honor him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
So hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah, that would be great. He would really love that. Wow, that would be so awesome.
There's 2 huge games that have honored Aaron
and
now.
Kim will still be an ensign.
Well, World of Warcraft didn't honor Aaron directly, but of course, Chris Eisenberg set up a memorial in the game, and it was massive. There was so many people. There was rainbows flying all over the place. So, I mean, that was not through World of Warcraft or Blizzard didn't do that, but it was in the game. And then in Star Trek Online, I know he's on the plaque for the people who have passed in Star Trek.
That's right. And they said that he's forever, his character's forever in Quark's bar now. So if you ever miss Aaron, you ever miss Nog, you can just walk into Quark's bar and hang out with Captain Nog.
And I hear he's running up a really big tab there. So.
Lots of root beer?
Yeah.
No, it's mochi.
Mochi?
Yeah.
Mochi. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Jenna, do you have anything else that you'd like to say about Aaron? Something that you want people to know about him?
No, because I only got to meet him twice really, but I was really impressed with how kind he was, and he obviously was interested in talking to me, and because he really carried the conversation, and he was funny, and it's a horrible loss.
Yeah, we all feel it, but I'm sure that he's smiling down on us. Every one of us that gets together in his honor, every time we talk about him, I feel like he's here with us, in the background, laughing, smiling, happy to see Homer, happy to see John, happy to see everybody just get together in his honor. Thank you guys for being there for him.
Yeah.
If we have enough time, we have one more person that would like to say something.
Bye. Thank you, Jenna.
Yeah, thank you.
And we've said many times before, Sirach knows that while he's smiling upon us, he's sneaking in a middle finger for Sirach.
Somewhere in the background. I think it's in that photo in the background somewhere. There's a middle finger waiting for me.
It's behind Homer's back.
Yeah.
And this is Lewis.
What's up, Lewis? Sporting the Roddenberry's shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
How are you?
Tell us about your experience with Aaron.
Well, I too just met Aaron about a year ago at Northeast TrekCon in Albany. He was one of those people really down to earth, very friendly and warm, brings you right in. And got to spend a lot of time with him at Vegas. And he was just a really warm individual. You know, anything he was doing, he just invites you right along with him. Like,
Yeah.
What was your first impression when you first met him? Was he busy? Was he running around? Was he just kind of like cracking jokes?
well, a little bit of both. He was just getting settled in behind the table and doing his booth. Like I went with John, and like he said, he recognized me right away. Hey, how you doing? Everything. Just started talking. Then throwing insults back and forth with Garrett.
Yeah.
Shocking. Is there anything you remember specifically about him that kind of stood out, like whether it was on social media, whether it was his character of Nog? I'm assuming that you were a Deep Space Nine fan before you met him.
Oh yeah, you know, like I've watched some Deep Space Nine. Like his character was just running around being a little prankster and everything, you know. Like one of the things I remember having a conversation about, going back to the World of Warcraft and everything, he was concerned about how there was like a group of gamers that believe themselves to be above everyone else, and if you're not up to their level, you know, why are you playing? Like why would people do that? I really want to understand why this is. And the fact that he can't even process being in that frame of mind goes to show what kind of character he had as an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true that he really would focus on things that he kind of felt were off or injustices, you know, where he thought, hey, that's not fair. I think he had a really strong compass, a moral compass for justice, for what he thought was right and wrong. And if somebody was being treated unfairly or somebody was acting unfairly, that really grinded his gears, you know.
And I feel like he wasn't afraid to speak out about it either.
No.
That's one of the biggest problems with inequality or injustice is people don't say anything and it just continues. And that was definitely not Aron.
Yeah. He remembered that episode we did about the gatekeepers, and why are people disqualifying my, you know, why are they saying that I'm not a real Star Trek fan if I don't like this and that? And he didn't like the gatekeepers, and also I guess in the gaming world as well, the gatekeepers of the gaming world.
You know, and before we recorded that episode, I remember him calling me up and asking me about that, and you know, as usual, it was a great point that he brought up, and I was like, yeah, dude, we should totally talk about that on the show. That's an absolute thing. That's not just you. Everybody will be interested in hearing about this, you know? And so he liked to bring up topics that were relevant and were important, even though it kind of sounds silly to say gatekeeping in Star Trek, but a lot of people are thinking about it and a lot of people are bothered by it. And so it's great that he brought that up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be a fan without being a fan of everything or knowing everything. Like you can be a fan of
Bite your tongue. You better like everything. If you don't like everything, you're not a real fan.
If you can't name every director and producer of every single episode, you are not a fan.
No, I like the fact that he stood up for those kinds of issues, and he made sure that his voice was heard about those things. He didn't like injustice. He didn't like people judging him or coming to judgments on people for no reason. So he was really adamant about that. People should have the freedom to like things that they liked and not like things that they like, you know, and not have to be like go with the mantra of what everybody else says. He liked to challenge that,
which I'm sure you appreciated when you didn't like Discovery.
Exactly. But no, that it's just there's so many good things we can say about Aron. I mean, he just had so many good qualities. That's why we all miss him so much. And usually the memories are attached to a smile. Usually they're attached to integrity. They're attached to goodwill that he's somehow shown some of us. So I'm really honored that his memory is being celebrated, that he's getting the recognition as a great actor that he was, that people are recognizing the great human being he was, and that the time that he invested in building those relationships was not for waste, as we still honor it and treasure the memories that he left with us.
That's something I recently heard is how do you get people to remember you, or how do you live on? And it's just to be kind. Be kind to people, be involved with them, and they're going to remember you, and you will live on.
You make sure it's for them.
Yeah, one of the things.
Somebody said something.
Yeah, one of the.
John said something. What did you say, John?
They make the shirts for them.
They make shirts for that.
Be kind.
Oh yeah, be kind. No, one of the things that they say in the Egyptian culture, which is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, is what it is. And one of the sayings in the Book of the Dead is that no person truly dies until the last person that speaks their name dies. And as long as we keep speaking Aron's names, speaking his accomplishments, he lives on with all of us.
That's reminiscent of Coco. Really good movie. Came out last year, the year before. That's a really good mantra. That's really good. I totally agree, because Aron's legacy lives on because we're still talking about him. We're still thinking about him. We still remember him. We're still running through memories and lessons that we had with him. That's a really good point.
Yeah,
we're keeping him alive.
I know I bring up the Discord group a lot, but I've heard
Too
more
much.
than one person saying that that they feel that not everyone understands the grief that we're going through, because a lot of us didn't really know him at, on a personal level. Like we weren't spending every day with him like you guys were, or his friends, or we were friends, but not, in that type of situation where we were hanging out with him all the time. And a lot of people say in the Discord that they feel that other people don't understand what they're going through, so they're turning to the other people who feel the same way, that they understand. We all understand what it's like to feel that loss for somebody that we didn't know on a whole level, but he made it a point to know everyone on some level.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if he knew you for 10 seconds or 10 years. He always treated you like an old friend.
That's right. Immediately. As soon as he met somebody, he was acting as if you were old buddies. And that was definitely something special about him. Yeah. And on that note, I think we better go. If everybody back there, if they're still at hand, we'd love to have them all jump in just to say goodbye. If they can all squeeze into a square.
There we go.
Over here.
A rectangle.
Squeeze in. Oh, there goes.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Yeah, awesome.
There we are. Perfect.
The whole fabric of space and time is
there. I see two hands now. All right, guys. Thank you all very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. You guys.
Ryan, how are you here and there at the same time? It's
I see two Johns. I see it's Ciroc behind me. And
but he's got it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for celebrating.
It's a good one.
There we go. Okay, everybody smile. I'm going to screenshot it.
Yeah.
There.
Hey, thank you guys so much for celebrating with us.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you
and everybody
for
at home.
Thank you.
Always remember
the 7th rule.